Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, SoCal2Old4Forza, for the final track guide for TNT Season 41 on the CRX. We're going to conclude this season at Virginia International Raceway. So again, kind of another one of these nice flowing road courses with lots of grass to find yourself off track in. So again, same format as always. I'll do a hot lap, then I'll do a slower lap just to kind of break things down as far as what I look for, what my intentions are, what I think works for the car. And then I'll run a mock race with the AI just to kind of see what kind of traffic situations are out there, kind of throw in some questionable racecraft on my part, and we'll see where things shake out. But let's get started with the. And it's cut out there for a second. All right, heading down into Horseshoe. We'll be in fifth gear at this point. Going to brake right about the 2 board. All the way down to second gear. Again, the braking line here for the most part is pretty good. Pull back into the throttle. I like to keep it to the right side. Open up the next corner here. And full throttle, I'll put it in fourth. Brake just past the curbing. Left-hander for NASCAR here. I will get right to the curbing. Let the curbing drift out. Be careful of track limits there. I downshift for second for left hook. Get back on the throttle, and then I short shift lift up into third, and then just kind of balance the throttle heading into the snake. And you can use a lot of curb, but it's a really easy place to get penalties. It's usually, when I get penalties, that's usually where I get them at, is in the snake. Up to fifth gear. Through the climbing S's. Again, you can do this flat out. Keep your steering smooth. You can use a bit of the curbing. Keep the car more to the right side than I did. Downshift to fourth, aim for the curb, hit the gas. Just get on the curbing on the outside. Up brake. Next to last board there. I don't know what number that is. Down to second. Again, now that we're on to the backstretch coming out of Oak Tree, it is important to get that turn right consistently, since if it's again it's the most important corner because it leads onto the longest straightaway. So I should put it into fifth right about here. And then these next couple of turns I'm still trying to figure out. But heading up it here, getting into roller coaster. I'm still trying to sort out that braking. Out of roller coaster, heading down to hog pen. I got in there a little early. That's a lap of VIR in the CRX. So let's brake this down here. Again, I'm going to be heading down here. You're going to be getting up to fifth gear. A little kink here on the front straightaway. Now for me, and again, I think I'm still using I think I still have the 140 pressure tune, but where I'm braking at, and again, the way the braking boards and the lighting are, it's like I'm really not going to see the numbers as easily as some other tracks, and maybe the other, the more hazy version of day, they're easier to spot. But usually, it's the third one back. VRR, the first board is always 0, so 0, 1, 2. It's about the 2 board. It also lines up right before where the Michelin boards are. That's assuming that one of us hasn't gone off during the race and knocked all those down. But I'm braking probably during the race. I'll be braking just before the 2, and that lines up pretty well with where it really goes solid red on the braking line. Brake, brake, brake. I'll actually start bringing the car across into the braking zone as I'm braking. Get it down to second gear, and release about here to get the car into the corner. I might drift out a little bit, but as soon as I can get back to full throttle, that's get to full throttle. And again, as I said before, I usually like to exit and bring the car here to the right side. It opens up this next turn a bit, and I probably will put up into fourth. Now, where I am braking at, in conjunction with the braking line, it is going to be somewhere about it's going to be about halfway between when that curbing disappears on the left side and before I get to that curbing on the right side. So for me, it's going to be it'll probably be about here as well. Start getting into the brakes. And I think as far as for the laps I've run, I think the guidance of the braking line is pretty spot on for this car. Is because the braking line is going to be about mid track. You're not going to go all the way out to the right side and bring it back across here for NASCAR. Um, I will probably be slightly to the inside of it, depending on what I'm doing. So for me, I'll be in fourth gear. I'll downshift it to third. And then going in here, I may clip the inside curbing here a little bit. And then on the way out, again, this is one of those things I hope gets addressed in the next Forza game. Track limits, to me, in my humble opinion, that track limit line should be on the difference between the green and yellow curbing and then the green tarmac, not at the road surface. But I didn't draw it, so just be mindful. You can use a bit of this outside curbing, but just be careful of it. So here, braking just, and I don't really, this is one I probably rely a little more on the braking line as far as where I'm braking for left hook, because there's really not a lot of help. You can probably try and spot and see if you can see any of the discoloration of the grass just off on the right side, but really just get the car slowed down. I like doing this in second gear. If you want to carry, again, it's that whole difference is the car. Do you prefer to have the car a little more on its toes, or do you want it to be a little more relaxed on its heels? If you like it on its tails with a little more, responsive turn in, second gear is probably the way to go. If you like the car to be a little more relaxed, you can do this in third. I don't know. I haven't tried to figure out, if there's a really significant time difference using one gear or the other. Certainly in traffic, I think second gear is going to be better. You get a little more. You'll higher in the RPM. You might get a little more kick out of this corner. But I'll do this in second 9 times out of 10. But if you do this in second, as you get back to full throttle, you're going to need to shift to third very quickly. Usually what I've been trying to do is get into, as I'm getting the apex here, I'll shift to third, but I'll also breathe the throttle really quick. So that way when third clicks in, it's not going to spin the tires up because I've got steering angle in for the right hander here. Let the car bring the car out. And as soon as I get it out to here, I'm trying to spot the curbing for the entrance to the snake. So I am trying to get, and I'll release the throttle a little bit just to help the turn in. This is where notoriously in other cars, and especially faster cars, where I will always get time penalties because I'll turn in too early and cut this curbing too much heading into the snake. So I would say it's okay to be a little late for this one and maybe just only get on the very edge of the curbing there, because you can always use a bit more of the curbing here on the next side. But again, usually what I'll do is as I get out of here, I'm going to abuse this curbing as much as I can just to try and keep the car as straight as possible through the snake and onto the short stretch here before the climbing S's. For me, I always like having the car out on the right side. I'll probably put it into fifth just as I get to the access road here, for the cutover. As soon as I'm passing through here in fifth gear, I'm going to start bringing the car back to the left. I may clip this curb a little bit, but it'll line me up straight here. Bring the car back over, bring it back to the right a little bit, and again, you'll be full throttle. Use a little curb there. I use a bit more here. So I want to try and open this next one up so that if I do it right, as I crest the hill, I'm more on the right side of the track than the left. Now, it is hard to spot going slow like this, but the crest of this hill, there's a little bit of a dip before, I think this is South Bend here. The road dips a little bit before right about where the braking is, and you'll probably see it easier at speed. But right about where that braking line is, right about where that dip is, right about where the tree there on the left side starts going out of view, that's where I'm going to do a quick brake and downshift to fourth and turn the car in. And what I'm trying to do, and this is I don't have it down pat, but what I'm trying to do is get the car in fourth to this curbing and get back on the throttle in fourth gear and then let the car move out. I might get on this curbing just a little bit in fourth gear, and I'll let it wind up in fourth gear, bring the car back across the left, brake right about where the one board is, in fourth gear. If I do it right, it'll be down to third, get the car to the inside here, out, downshift to second. I'm trying to spot the Coca-Cola sign because I know the apex of the corner is just past that. On downshift to second, and I might cut that curblet to get onto the back through Oak Tree onto the back straight. Oak Tree, that second part to get onto this back straightaway, I'm waffling. I think on my own, if I've done the approach right, I can probably do it in third and keep the momentum going. But I think lately I've just been popping it in second. Because usually my rule of thumb with Oak Tree is, I'm going to turn it around really quick. My general rule of thumb with Oak Tree, as far as what gear I should be in, as I'm trying to learn it, is if I come out of Oak Tree and I am upshifting a gear before I get to the end of this curving here, I at least then do another lap where I try to do Oak Tree in that higher gear to kind of get the feel for it. In doing it in second, I'm not getting to third until I'm just getting to the edge of it. So that's where I'm like, I think second gear's fine. So again, if you do it in second gear, just know turn-in's it's gonna be a little more positive on turn-in than third. Again, it's that on its toes or on its heels. But regardless, once you get onto the back straight, nice long back straightaway, you'll be up in fifth gear heading up to the entry to roller coaster. And this is the other one I'm still trying to get sorted out. Because with this car, it is a very late braking. I mean, I'm braking past the, you've got 3, 2, 1, and it's got the arrow board saying, you better be turning. So I kind of used that board. I'm still on the gas even as I pass that and starting to bring the car over. You can brake, I think, a little bit into the red and not be too, and not have it too sketchy. But this one, it's very easy to carry way too much speed into. And I think the ideal line is still what's being suggested. But there's a lot of times where I've come in here too hot, fifth down to fourth, down to third, where I've wound up all the way on the right side for roller coaster and had to put it in second. So I think the line you want to try and get through here is, clip the curbing back there, clip that inside curbing, but get the braking done so that you can try and keep the car to the left side as much as you can. Get it, if you can do that, you probably then, about here, you can keep it in third, turn in, and head down through roller coaster. So third gear, fourth gear. Now we're heading into the entrance to Hog Pen. Hog Pen in this car, because it's because we're in a hatchback front wheel drive, if you get it right, it's great. If you get it wrong, there's bad things can happen. So what I'm trying to do is, and I've done. I first was doing it where I was just banging it off the rev limiter. If you keep it in third, you'll be hitting the rev limiter right about where you get to the inside curving. A lot of times I'm kind of just cracking the throttle a little bit to not bounce it off the rev limiter. I've also done it in fourth gear with still a little bit lift. But what I'm trying to do is, whether I'm in third or fourth, I'm trying to late apex it so that I'm as straight as possible. And I may even get on that curbing a little bit to get into Hog Pen. And it's this next right-hander that can wreak havoc with the back of the car, depending if you go in too hot, or you don't get the gearing right, or you really clip the inside curbing. It can throw you off to the outside curbing, and then there's other trouble there. So what I'm trying to do is, maybe do a quick brush brake, release the throttle, get the car turned in, but then really try to get back on throttle to get the rear of the car in check, so that I can just kind of use the throttle and power through Hog Pen back onto the front straight. And it is to bring the car out a little bit. So that inside curbing, depending on how you hit it, can unsettle the car and throw you out, and possibly throw you way out here too far. The outside curbing here, depending on how you hit it, and depending on how aggressive you are turning in for the final, for this final turn onto the front stretch, it might pitch the back of the car sideways. If the curbing throws you out, you might get out in the grass. If you get out in the grass here at Hog Pen, it's going to take you forever then to get the car slowed down and get it back onto course. So, I would say in your practice, just try and be as consistent as possible. Push it a couple of times, find out where your limits are, but Just Hogpen, I think, is going to be one of the most challenging corners, I think, for all of us to get right consistently. So probably just a good place, try and set up passes, onto the front straightaway here. So, and then again, it kinks a little bit, just put it right in the middle, and that's a lap of VIR. So again, it's really going to be about, and again, I'm going to sound like the broken record. It's a momentum track. So, be as efficient as you can. Keep the back end in check. Don't let the tires squeal, because that's going to scrub speed. And, well, let's see what happens when we throw other cars on track. Before I do that, let me go into my assists. No. What am I looking up? Oh, there we go. I can't read menus today. All right, let's go ahead and finish the test drive. And do want to make an adjustment on where ice. Okay. Oh no, 50. Yeah, we'll start at 55. That's where I've been starting it around there. So I'm guesstimating, and we'll see how long it takes to do this. I'm guesstimating 15, maybe 16 laps. I think it just depends ultimately on what everybody's pace is. But I think for this, for the most part, it's going to be same, as far as I'm racing the same classes of cars. I did make one subtle change, which you'll see here in a second, for this final race. But let's go ahead and get into it. Race, actually, sure we have quick stop. Yep, quick stop. Okay. Start race. So I got the same two classes of cars in front of me as far as the hatchbacks and the different classes there. It's what I have behind me that I just thought, for kicks and giggles, let's just have it there. So starting about 5 seconds behind me, and I have no chance of me winning this race, is the car we're going to be racing next season. Get the camera on him. The Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo. So if you haven't already started, kind of figuring out what that car likes, I don't know. It might still be a week or so until we get a setup that we can play around with, but that'll be next season's car. So yeah, I'm not going to win this race, but we'll see how well that Lambo gets through slow traffic. But he's going to catch me, but probably before I get to the snake. Actually, a 5 second. He's gonna catch me probably by turn 1. See how long I can hold him up. And again, cold rear tires on your outlap, so you'll feel the back end slide through the horseshoe. And I'm just gonna put it in the middle of the track here. And if he gets his run right, this is where he's going to blow right past me. Go? You going to go? You going to go try and go by me? You better get by me before the S's. There you go. Hopefully he gets bogged down a little bit. We can catch back up to him. Again, even for the south bend there, I'm not really... If I do it right, I'm not coming all the way out of the throttle. Whoop. That's the other place I usually get time penalties as well. Very easy to cut oak tree a little too much. All right, let's see how well I do here getting into roller coaster. Like a lot of door banging there. The back end just slides out a little bit there. I think that's one I'm going to probably even be experimenting with during the race, trying to figure out what works best. Just a late turn in for the left hook there. Across the hill, into the dip. Might be able to do that in fifth. Again, I like it in fourth, just feeling I have a little bit better control over the car. See, and there's third gear for Oak Tree, and it's not horrible. Again, for me, it's when you get back to power, if it's in and around 6,000 RPM, I think it's fine then to do it in third. So that's driver's preference, I think. Better this time. A little bit late. Very sketchy. Almost went off. So that's about where I've been. We'll try hog pen in third this lap and see how it feels. Again, I can almost do that flat. Usually I just have to crack the throttle enough to allow the front tires to steer a little bit more. Third time. And the second that I hear the rear tires stop squealing is when I know I can get back on the gas and know that I've got the front end under me, or at least the back end under me. 216.8. Okay. Yo. How about that? Alright, let's see, we got some traffic coming up here. Let's see how we do. Right about 5,000. That might cost me, that might cost a little bit of time. Ooh, that was almost a track. Excuse me. Pizza. That's about the line I've been taking through there. Right, these guys have a little more top end. I will pick the inside. He is rather slow. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Coming through. It'd be interesting. I don't know. This car, because it's D-Class, side-by-side racing through the uphill or the climbing S's might be possible. I don't know. I might only do that if it's like, coming down the last couple of laps and I got to try and find some way past. But we're pretty, given the Forza glue, it's sketchy probably. But I'm sure I'll try it at some point during the race. I'm really straight lining that braking. I probably could brake a little bit earlier. That would give me a little bit more control. Oh, back end started to slide. Didn't do that well. It turned in a little bit too early there, but that's okay. Oh, and too early. And this is the part of the track that I'm probably going to get the most penalties at. Especially if I try to make moves like that. Again, I did say questionable racecraft, so... Big run. And just barely cut that corner at Oak Tree. And one of the experiments I wanted to find out is it possible for that Lambo... Oh, I can't talk and drive at the same time. Can the Lambo get through all of the traffic and lap? Certainly, it's going to be pretty quick on the once they get out into clean air, they're going to be gone. Looks like he's only got a couple of cars left to pass before he's got that. And for me, I'm going to pit on right about lap. I'll pit at the end of lap 8, and like I always do, halfway through the race. That is a whole gaggle of cars there in front. Oh, turning way too early there. Almost spat myself out off the track. The other thing they'll always take a little bit to get used to is all these tire barriers are going to be gone. If you're used to looking at them, it's probably going to take a lap or two to readjust. Even that one at the corner there of South Bend is going to be gone. And yeah, I turn in much earlier than what the line suggests. So again, not saying my way is faster. That's what I do. Right in fourth gear this time. Yeah, you really kind of want to get as close to that curb on the right side as you can. You just don't want to go bounding over it. Oh, let's try it. What do you think? He's a little bit in front of me. Oh, let's see what happens. Oh, you're gonna let me? Okay, thank you. Consider it. Ooh, that was bad. I really need to try and take that turn a little bit later. Box flap. Hear the back tires protesting a little bit. And the nice thing is pit lane, very easy to get into. Probably drop back to last place. I'm sure there's a good chunk of the field that still needs to pit themselves. So again, pit in, really easy. Again, provided you don't have somebody on your right side coming out of hog pen. And again, pit out, also very easy as well. Actually, I think you get released with a fair bit of momentum. Just kind of keep it to the right until you're sure that it's clear, which it isn't for me. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for helping me turn. So yeah, I mean, you can exit pit lane and contest turn one if somebody's on the way in there. Just happen to meet up. Whoop. There we go. Excuse me. Should try that in fifth just to see what it's like. Got acceleration on him because of the manual clutch, but I would expect him to start getting. Yep. Look back in behind him, and for what little drafting I might get off of him. Should pay attention to what I'm doing. You know, I'm trying to give you guys some dramatic shots too, you know. Whoops. Yeah, that's the danger with NASCAR. It's very easy to take a look on the inside there and get sideswiped, or so careful of that one. A little bit just to give him some room. Okay, it looks like our Scott Lambo. I don't know if the Lambo is pitted yet, because again we're talking 120, what, 137 seconds a lap. I mean, based off the pace that I'm running. Got a little wide. But there, yep, it's still there. Yeah, I think the Lambo still has the hit. I would not have expected him to catch me. It's 6 laps to go in the race. I could be wrong. Excuse me. I'm going to try this in 5th. And again, a little bit late. We'll try it again. I'll try it again next lap. Trying to see if I can spot the Lambo, but he's still back there a little bit. That's probably about the best I've done that. Getting all serious because I'm contemplating. It's like, I've still got, shouldn't have any problems getting through these guys over the next couple of laps, especially if a few of them still have to hit. Just contemplating is like, how aggressive do I want to be? Keep from going a lap down. And here I said it was going to be in 50 this time. in that gob of dots there somewhere. Just trying to, like, how much of a, dare I say, how much of a dick do I want to be to the Lambo? My only concern is if he's on my tail as I start my last lap and he's finishing, at that point it's not Drivatar, it's like like the default AI, you know, that take over. That's worse than the Drivatar. They have no regard for other cars on the track. It takes me back to the that one race. God, what was I forget what I was driving, where the leader had finished and pretty much clobbered me, heading into the stadium section of Hockenheim. So, something I got to think about. 4 laps to go. Oh, and he's got clear track in front of him. It's a little bit sketchy. Second place. Oh. Alright, so I'm in 5th. I've got 4th. Oh, there's... Okay. Couldn't see where 2nd was. I think 2nd place still has to pit, too. I see the Lambo. He's back there. Right. I'll let you on the inside, but I'm definitely going to outbrake you into this corner. There's the Lambo. Okay. How much of a dick am I going to be to him? Usually with the AI, the driver tries, you can mess with them a little bit. As far as, oh, ow. Okay, that didn't take him long. Okay. Well, at least I don't have to worry about getting clobbered at the end of the race. Well, I'll have 2 laps to see if I can improve my fastest lap. Not sure how much still out on the table. Yeah, you can do that in 5th. I think the car just pushes a little more through there. I think that's why I like 4th. Because I totally get my gearing wrong. Oh, that's right, because I was still in 5th going into that corner, into Oak Tree. That wasn't quick. That probably cost me. Oh, he has to pit. Oh, this is going to be close. He's clear. Oh, I didn't realize he hadn't pitted yet. Right. Left hook, second gear, top. Ooh, that was close. It's probably about as close as you'd want to cut that corner. A whole bunch of time there because I couldn't get the downshift right. All right, one lap to go. No chance for a win. See if we can beat a 216. Wow, down 3/10 already. I do love that turn when you get it right. But I'm losing time, so. Definitely not going to make up 4/10 through here. I'll probably lose more by the time I get to the end of the lap. So yeah, 15 laps is probably better. I mean, 16, we're almost at pushing 39 minutes, so probably a 15 lap race. And And yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The next season Lambo is going to be quite a bit quicker, depending on the tune. So with that, that is the final track guide for season 41 in the Honda CRX. And hope you guys again had a great Thanksgiving, and should be two, I think, really good fun races here, to cap off the season. So hope you guys again had a great Thanksgiving. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, and happy racing.